I begin by acknowledging the contribution of our forefathers who have helped in creating a world based on freedom and human dignity. I extend my respect to people of diverse cultures, faith, color, and genders, and pledge to work for equity, inclusivity, peace, and harmony. Good evening to one and all present here. I, Christina, a first-year student of DME Media School, welcome you to the 5th edition of the world's first 7-day hybrid international media conference, ICAN5. The International Media Conference, ICAN5, is being organized by DME Media School of Delhi Metropolitan Education in collaboration with the School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. I would like to take a moment and introduce Delhi Metropolitan Education to our audience. Delhi Metropolitan Education is an A-grade premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, New Delhi, and approved by the Bar Council of India. DME Media School is one of the most promising media institutes in the country. It offers BA in journalism and mass communication. It is recognized as a school focused on the growth of its faculty and students through academic and co-curricular activities. ICAN5 has come with a theme, inclusivity, convergence, and alternative negotiations with the hashtag communication for all. ICAN5 has the support of 18 partners, including the International Association of Media and Communication Research, Gender and Communication Section, IMCR, Gen Section, and GMEC, Global Media Education Council as the conference partner. Knowledge partners for ICAN5 are Makhanlal Chaturvedi University, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, Vigyan Prasar, Government of India, and Keshav Suri Foundation. For ICAN5, international partners are Institute for International Journalism, Ohio University, USA, Green University, Bangladesh, and the Fordham International University, Bangladesh. Cultural partner is Beacon House National University, Pakistan. Media partners for ICAN5 are Amar Ujala, The Policy Times, Jai Hind Times, and the Hindi Post. ICAN5 is powered by Asian Media and Cultural Studies Network, Australia, Australia-India Film Practitioners and Researchers Network, SPARK, the Student Council of DME Media School, and RIM, Research and Innovation in Media, Research Cell of DME. The conference is supported by Notto, National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Since 2018, DME Media School has been organizing the international conference ICAN. The themes for the former editions were India and Changing Aspects of News in ICAN1, Indian Cinema and Alternate Networks in ICAN2, Issues of Community, Agenda and News in ICAN3, Information, Communication and Artificial Networks in ICAN4, Inclusivity, Convergence and Alternative Negotiations ICAN5. ICAN5 will witness a total of 26 sessions, including 18 live sessions, 5 hybrid sessions, and 3 physical sessions. The schedule comprises of 10 technical sessions, 3 workshops, 2 masterclasses, 2 plenary sessions, and 5 panel discussions. Proud to mention here that all 10 technical sessions are being chaired by women scholars representing different states and countries. It gives me immense pleasure that ICAN5 will go live on the official Facebook page of DME for various sessions. For more information, follow us on our social media handles. We are sharing the links in the chat box. Now, I invite Professor Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dean DME Media School and convener of ICAN5, to give his opening remarks.
Thank you, Christina. So it's a matter of immense pleasure that we are having this session from Notto. This is an international conference, and obviously this is about media education and media industry. But today, this kind of session we thought, since this time we had the theme of inclusivity, convergence, and alternative negotiation. So basically, all our sessions are revolving around inclusivity. And when we say inclusivity, it has so many dimensions. It not only covers non-discrimination on any basis, be it caste, religion, sex, gender, color. Everybody should get his or her rights, his or her dignity, and whatever is due to that person in the society. So in that respect, the organization this Notto, the kind of work that it has been doing, which I was seeing, that they are into this organ donation or organ transplant and tissue transplant. So this is something which is everybody's responsibility in a society. And if people are not donating their organs, then obviously those who are in need of those organs, they will not get their life. So it is in a way including all those people who are deprived of certain things because of, and to help those people. So this is in a way is contributing that total spirit of inclusiveness. So that is how we thought that it will be very apt to have this kind of session and people on this issue. So I'm really Dr. Archana, Dr. Ritu Gupta, that they have spare time to have this session with our students in DN. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to show that Journalism at DME is the official newsletter of DME Media School. This fortnightly publication covers all the major activities happening in and out of the campus. It is a student-centric newsletter carried out entirely by them under the supervision of faculty members. DME TV is our official YouTube channel where you can find the playlist related to all session, lecture series, film festivals, and conferences. Today, we have gathered here for the plenary session 2 on the topic awareness about organ donation. Before we proceed, I would request Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, Associate Professor, DME Media School, to share profile of the guest. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Christina. Today's session is very special session. Before I introduce our guest to you, I would like to talk about Notto a bit. So Notto is, like we informed, National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. It is an organization which was set up by Directorate General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, and it is located in New Delhi. It's in the Safdarjung Hospital building. So basically, it is a national network division which functions as an epic center for all India activities of coordination and networking for procurement and distribution of organs and tissues, and registry of organs and tissues donation and transplantation in the country. So this is an important thing to understand because we have been reading a lot of things about organ transplantation, how this happens. It is a good cause. But I think Dr. Archana, who is with us today, she is working with Notto as a consultant coordination. She has experience of around 6 years and had worked in different projects with WHO, Care India, and now she is with Notto for last 2 years. And we will be having Dr. Ritu Gupta if she is able to connect. But in the meanwhile, I would request Dr. Archana to take over and just enlighten the audience, our students especially, and clear their doubts about organ transplantation. Over to you, Dr. Archana.
Thank you so much, Manasvi. And I would again like to thank Dr. Amrish Saxena and you for giving us the opportunity to interact with the DME students. It gives immense pleasure to be with such kind of audience and with the leaders who have such vision for this noble cause. And as your theme is inclusivity, so Notto definitely goes around this because we want people should be knowing about the organ donation and the same time about the organ transplantation as well. Because nowadays it's a very common issue if you see. One or the other family or the nearby neighbor or in the community, someone is suffering with one or other organ disease and they might need the organ transplant. So there is a lack of information or awareness about the right information, where to go, whom to contact, what to do. And this is giving rise to a lot of wrong practices in the community also, which we read in the newspaper and the news that there is a racket and all that. So our right information should reach to the community about the process. So thank you again for this platform. If you can we share our presentation so that I can take you through that. As we know, organ donation is not of the modern science only. Even in our mythology and old days also, there was incident with Lord Ganesha and Dadichi, which we learn in different scriptures, that there was a transplant which was done by Shiva. So this is just to let you know that it was there in our ancient time as well. Next slide. These are just the figures to let you know that by this time tomorrow, 300 people in India who are alive right now will be dead. Not because they were in a car accident, not because they were gunned down, not because their time had come, not even because they weren't in the hospital, simply because they obtained a transplant on time. 300 people will die because the organ transplant they want was not possible because there was no donation. It's a responsibility. So until unless there is a transplant, it is the truth also that many people are dying because they are not able to get the organs on time. The grim situation right now is over that 5 lakh patients are waiting. Approximately 5 lakh patients are waiting for organ transplant for different organs in the country. The clock is ticking. Status in India, every 17 minutes, someone dies waiting for a transplant. Every 9 minutes, someone is added to the wait list. Wide gap, which you can see, it's very visible. 18,000 people needed and 6,000. 1,08,000 people are needed and 6,000 only. 30,000 people need liver and only 1,500 we are able to. India is number 2 at the transplantation, but in the liver live transplantation. What we intend or what Notto mandate is the disease transplantation, because living transplant again cause a morbidity. Heart we need around 50,000 and only 15 we are doing in a year. Similarly, cornea 1,25,000 we are able to do it. India is long behind in this queue of all the countries, that long way to go for cadaveric donation. In life, we are at number 2, but in the cadaveric, we are far behind. And that can be only, this gap can be only bridged by the society, by their awareness, if they are ready to donate. Next slide. Don't let the circle of life break. What we say is, what is organ transplant? In case any organ of the human body fails to function, medical science can extend its functioning for some time with the medicines and the treatment. But when an end stage failure is reached, just like a machine whose parts are changed, the failed organs needs to be replaced. As I was talking, type of donor, there are 2 types of donors, diseased and living. So in living, again, according to law, related and non-related people can donate to the family. But there are different clauses for which there is a different provision to get a permission. And disease donor is like natural death and brain death. In natural death, people can only donate tissues. Organ cannot be, because the circulation of the organs is already ceased. So those organs are cannot be used. But whereas in brain dead patient, the circulation is still active. So in a brain dead patient, only solid organs can be donated. These are the organ and tissue donation by a living person. As I was talking, living person, what all things a living person can donate? Blood, bone marrow, 1 kidney, portion of lung, though in India it is not started yet, portion of liver, and portion of pancreas and skin. This can be donated by a living person. Tissue donation after cardiac death. These are the things which can be donated if a death happens in the home. Bones, cornea, skin, and heart valves. After the death, family can contact Notto, Roto, or Soto, and they can arrange for the retrieval of these tissues at home itself. One diseased donor can give life to 9 people: eyes, lung, heart, liver, pancreas, kidney. So see how much we can give even after when we are leaving. What is brain death? As I was talking that there are two types of deaths, cardiac death and brain death. One death which is happening in a home is a cardiac death. Just to understand, it's a medical term, cardiac death, where the heart stops first and then. Brain death is a state where all functions of the brain stem have permanently, irreversibly ceased. In this situation, brain stops working and the person permanently lost the potential for consciousness and capacity to breathe. One thing here we need to understand, it's not coma. Coma is another thing where it is reversible, but in brain death, it is an irreversible change. Brain cannot receive message back from the body. In this case, the person has no chance of recovery, and according to law, the person is dead. So even our law consider this death as a death. People confuse mostly in the hospitals when it is said, no, your person is brain stem death and you can donate organs. They see that the person is still having the respiration and all the parameters are visible. They are not seeing the straight flat line. So they think he is alive, but it is not. When brain stem death is said, that means he is only breathing because of the life support. That is the ventilator and the other things. What is brain death? Again, the same. Common cause of brain death is accidents. A potential donor can be from the accidents, because in India, a lot of road accidents happen, we can see on a daily basis. And those people can be converted as a donor. Next slide. There are many myths regarding the organ donation. I am too old, I cannot donate. No, 90 years old, even 96. Last year, we had a donor who was 96 and his organs were perfectly fine. So there is no age, it's just a number. My body will disfigure after donation. Some people think that if I donate, then I will maybe not getting the same thing in the next life or something like that. No. Money and fame are considered in organ allocation. No, it's completely fair and transparent, as much as can be done under the government of India. It might be the religion. In the medical team comes to know that I am an organ donor, they won't try to save my life. No, definitely not. A doctor's first promise is to do whatever he can do to save their patients. And similarly, next. Need of government intervention is THOA in existence 1994. What are the reasons due to which the government had to come and the Notto, Roto, Soto was set up? Exploitation of vulnerable population, no corresponding increase in the organ donation, huge potential due to high road traffic accidents, increasing waiting lists. So after seeing all that, government thought that there is a need of a government intervention. Next slide. And here it comes. Transplantation of Human Organs and Tissues Act THOTA. Initially in 1991, there was a committee, LM Singhvi, which introduced a bill which became a rules and law. And in 1994, THOA Act was passed. And then there was an amendment. In THOA, it was only transplantation of human organs. In 2011, tissues are also added in the same. Next slide. Establishment of Notto. As we already know, but I'll just repeat. Notto is an apex national networking organization established under Director General of Health, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Notto was established under the aegis of Director General of Health in November 2010 to function as a national human organs and tissues removal and storage network as mandated by THOTA 1994. To organize a system of organ procurement, distribution and networking, to establish and maintain the national registry. It is situated in 4th and 5th floor of an IOP building, BMCC Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. Next slide. Yeah, to organize a system of disease, organ and tissue procurement and distribution for transplantation, we have this network, Notto, Roto and Soto. Notto is a national level organization based in Delhi at Safdarjung Hospital. Then we have 5 Rotos in regional organ tissue transplant organization. They are in North, East, West, South, and one is in Northeast. Under these regional, we have SOTO, that is a state level organization. Almost presently we have a 16 SOTOs and 5 ROTOs. So altogether 21 states we are covering. Yes, next slide. The roadblocks in organ donation is lack of awareness among the people, prevalent myths and misconception, indifferent attitude towards the subject, lack of organized activities. So let's begin a Jana Andolan for the cause of Angdan. What is the process to take a donor pledge? Before I tell you about the donor pledge, I will just like to tell you that donor pledge have nothing legal implications. It's an awareness activity. So if you pledge and tomorrow you don't want to donate, there won't be any legal obligation. It's just an awareness activity, I would again like to tell you. And I'll tell you the other things, why and at what age you can pledge. Next slide. Next slide, please. Anyone who is more than 18 years of age can pledge. You can, no, previous slide. Yeah, there are 2 modes presently. You can pledge online and offline. So both are available on the Notto website. Yes, next slide. It's a form 7. It needs only a basic information about you. By filling this form, you can send it to the Notto directly, or you can submit in your college also. If you have more forms, you can call us, anyone from Notto, go and collect it. And then we will send you the donor card as well. Nowadays, after COVID, we are sending a soft copy of donor card that is also easily available. Next slide. This is how the donor card is. Nowadays, there is one more option on the driving license also, that if you would you like to be an organ donor or not, and you can take that. As I was telling, it doesn't have any legal litigations. Impact of organ donation or organ pledging is that sharing about organ donation with your family and friends and help to reach us to more people. So if you are pledging today, you will discuss with your friends and that will go on. So we can at least have a reach in the community that there is something like organ donation and organ transplantation. Next slide. Your engagement matters. Your esteemed organization can help spreading the information through the following: IC, mass media, public forums, religious heads, donor cards, driving license, etc. So with you, we are for the IC and mass media. Next slide. Decide to pledge today. Convey your wish to your family. This is very important. Whenever we plan or whenever we wish, we definitely tell to our loved ones. I know this is a bit futuristic, or you can say very practical, but we should definitely let them know that what exactly we want after we are leaving, because that is a very important part of our life and we never think of it. So I would request everyone to please speak about it within your family. Though you all are from the mass media and different, and you are from the education field, so getting everyday new idea, but this is what our idea is to promote disease organ donation, is that media, internet, television, radio, newspapers, magazine, and we are trying our best to reach. But in this, you are our foot soldiers, and I would request you to participate more and more and give us the ideas. There are some events which we celebrate during the year. One of the main important event is the Indian Organ Donation Day, which we celebrate every year in the month of November, where the health minister is our chief guest, and we facilitate all the good work done by the people throughout the year. Next slide. Awareness through social media. We are active on Twitter, Facebook, Insta. You can follow us on that. This is all from my side about Notto. If any questions?
Yes, I think I'll take questions. Students can post questions in the chat box, or they can raise their hand. In the meanwhile, I want certain questions which will clarify a lot of doubts. So can you just elaborate on what exactly tissue transplant is? So what exactly, what happens in the tissue transplant, because people are not clear about that.
You want to know about the tissue or the organ transplant?
Tissue transplant, as in what exactly they, we mean by organ transplant. We know that they do it organ. So you said tissue was earlier not there. Now tissue transplant can also happen. So
In tissue, like cornea can be, if there is a blindness due to corneal region, then the cornea can be transplanted and the patient will get his vision. So cornea, if there is some like acid attack people you have seen or burns, so there we can do a skin transplantation. So skin donation, skin is again a tissue. Bone is again a tissue. So if there is some fracture or bone replacement is needed, there also a bone donation can be.
Okay, and as you said that this can only happen in the case of brain deaths. So,
Yes.
as per my understanding and information, there are very less people who die of brain, who die because of brain deaths, right? And that's one of the major causes.
Very less people. Yeah, most of the death happens at home. But if the patient is hospitalized, then the death will be brainstem death, and at that point of time, it is the family to understand that if the doctor has said that it is a brainstem death, that means it is irreversible and there is no chance. So sometimes what people think that still the respiration is there or still all the parameters are coming as he was alive. So it's not the same. It is because of the life support on which he is.
Okay, because if you see, there are a lot of requirement of organs. We can see from the data and stats, and majority of times people they are not sure about when to inform. So there's a point about, it's also about the time.
Yeah, it is a time bound matter.
And how time bound thing. So the process is, once you have, supposedly I have registered and I have informed my family, that's, I think registration as well as informing is equally important, because
Very important.
even if I have registered and not informed, then nobody will inform Notto, or unless we inform Notto, we will not be able to do it, right?
Also, what happened, Manushree, like if someone have pledged and if he didn't tell to his family, and maybe by chance he is dying and he's in the hospital and his family is approached, the family deny because they never know that what was his wish. So it's very important that people should discuss, so that if they get a chance, because it's not that every pledgee can donate. The death can happen at any point of time or any way, and so if someone have the wish and it is in the hospital, then the family should know so that they can fulfill the wish.
Exactly. So it's like कि आप pledge अगर आप pledge भी कर रहे हो, आप pledge कर रहे हैं 100 लोग, लेकिन अगर उनकी death natural हो गई, तो वो नहीं donate कर सकते हैं, right?
तो वो नहीं donate कर सकते, but then they can donate at least tissue. So I would request that they should start.
Yeah, this is very important to understand, students, कि अगर आपने pledge किया है तो उसका 100% मतलब नहीं है कि आपका donation हो पाएगा. So there is no harm in pledging, first thing. Also legal foundation नहीं है, like ma'am said, कि अगर आप बाद में deny करते हो या आपकी family भी बाद में मना कर देती है, तो भी organ donation नहीं हो पाता है. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने कर दिया, बाद में कोई legal complication है, आप, क्योंकि I'm sure इसमें भी कुछ बहुत सारे clauses हैं कि pledge करने के बाद भी we are not sure कि हम donate कर सकते हैं कि नहीं कर सकते हैं.
So Manushree clause है ही नहीं, it's just awareness activity कि मतलब हम कई चीजें करते हैं, तो just आपने wish किया and we want you to talk about it, that's it. And जब अगर कभी भी किसी की death होती है और वो brainstem death अगर वो declare होता है, तो after that there is a complete process and family consent is very important. Until unless family is not agree, we cannot.
Okay, so even if I have pledged and my family does not agree, then तब भी नहीं कर सकते.
तभी नहीं कर सकते. That's the reason it's very important कि मतलब everyone should tell so that your last wish can be fulfilled.
Right. So आप pledge कर रहे हो, family को भी मनाना पड़ेगा कि भाई आपको भी बाद में इसको deny नहीं. So it's about more of an awareness, like ma'am said, कि pure awareness campaign है कि इसकी क्या importance है, कितना जरूरी है. We should talk about it. So Jay, you want to ask something? You can switch on your camera. I think I've given you rights and you can unmute yourself. Jay Sirohi? Yes.
Ma'am, hi. I wanted to ask you something कि if I'm right, अभी तक एक law था, मतलब पहले allow होता था कि if someone wants to like अगर मुझे liver donation की जरूरत है and I go to someone, अभी तो rule है कि सिर्फ families donate करेंगी पहले अपनी मर्जी से direct, otherwise I think you have to wait in the list after getting registered. बट पहले शायद ऐसा था कि कोई भी किसी को डोनेट कर सकता था अगर ब्लड ग्रुप मैच कर रहे हैं एंड इफ द पर्सन इज रेडी एंड मैं उसके पास जाता हूँ। बट आई थिंक अभी गवर्नमेंट ने शायद कुछ ऐसा रूल लगाया है कि आप ऐसे किसी स्ट्रेंजर से नॉर्मली नहीं ले सकते अगर इवन इफ द ब्लड ग्रुप एंड ही इज रेडी टू लाइक सब मैच हो रहा है, आपको लाइन में ही वेट करना पड़ेगा। कुछ ऐसा रूल भी है ना अभी शायद?
नहीं, एक्चुअली रूल तो 1994 से ही है और स्ट्रेट अवे आप कभी भी नहीं ले सकते। अभी गवर्नमेंट ने मतलब ये भी अलाउ किया है कि अगर पहले था कि फैमिली रिलेटेड होनी चाहिए, लेकिन अभी अलाउ किया है कि अगर रिलेशन नहीं है तो भी, बट देन देयर शुड बी अ रिलेशन ऑफ आउट ऑफ लव दैट शुड बी मतलब फुलफिल्ड एंड प्रूव्ड in front of the there are various committees and authorization committees, as I was telling na कि living donation separately अलग है और disease donation separately अलग है। living donation में hospital के पास authorization committee होती है जिसके पास आपकी सारी चीजें प्रूव होनी चाहिए कि अगर आप रिलेटिव हैं तो कैसे हैं, तो दे टेक DNA एंड एवरीथिंग। अगर आप नॉन रिलेटेड हैं और आउट ऑफ लव कर रहे हैं, मतलब जस्ट टू मेक श्योर कि कोई कमर्शियल डीलिंग नहीं हो। आपको पता ही है इतना सब कुछ होने के बावजूद भी वी आर नॉट एबल टू स्टॉप। So no, poor people or vulnerable people are exploited because of this कि थोड़ा पैसे देकर के उनके organs, तो that's because of that only थोड़ा सा stringent है। और नोटो का तो लिविंग डोनेशन मैंडेट ही नहीं है बिकॉज वी थिंक कि अगर हमें डोनेशन चाहिए तो दैट शुड बी डिजीज, क्योंकि लिविंग डोनेशन इज अगेन कॉजिंग ना मॉर्बिडिटी, जिसका लेंगे उसको भी तो थोड़ी लाइफ मतलब दो इट्स नॉट बट अगेन ही इज प्रोन टू मेनी थिंग्स, सो दैट्स द रीजन।
बट मैम फॉर एग्जांपल लाइक लिवर डोनेशन जिसमें लिवर का सिर्फ एक छोटा सा पार्ट लेते हैं, तो जो डोनर होता है उसका तो लिवर वापस ग्रो हो जाता है नॉर्मली में।
नहीं, डेफिनेटली ग्रो हो जाता है बट एवरी सर्जरी हैव देयर इट्स प्रॉस एंड कॉन्स।
ओन रिस्क।
Yes. So risk is always there. So for that only I am saying कि we should always promote disease donation because लेकर चले जाने में कोई फायदा नहीं, सच हम देकर के चले जाएं ताकि कितने लोगों को जिंदगी मिल जाएगी।
And एक लास्ट चीज और कि लाइक यू टोल्ड कि ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट्स लाइक इंडिया के अंदर इतने कम है, सो डोंट यू फील कि मतलब इसमें कहीं ना कहीं कॉस्ट भी एक रिस्ट्रिक्शन आता है बिकॉज अलग अलग स्टेट्स में अलग अलग कॉस्ट है। फॉर एग्जांपल द सेम लिवर ट्रांसप्लांट इन सम हॉस्पिटल इज लाइक एक फाउंडेशन लगनी चाहिए कि इसके ऊपर कॉस्ट चार्ज नहीं होनी चाहिए। लाइक किसी हॉस्पिटल के अंदर वो पैकेज दिखाते हैं कि 14 लाख में सब हो जाएगा, बाद में एड अप होकर कॉस्ट वो 20-25 पहुंच जाती है एंड साउथ में तो 1 करोड़ समथिंग तक भी जाता है।
डेफिनेटली, लेकिन जो मैंने आपको दिखाया दैट इज द डिजीज डोनेशन, आप जिसकी बात कर रहे हैं वो लिविंग है। अगर डोनेशन होंगे तो ट्रांसप्लांटेशन, फिर क्योंकि ऑर्गन्स आएंगे तो ट्रांसप्लांटेशन हो जाएंगे। और जहां तक कैपिंग की बात है, गवर्नमेंट इज कम्प्लीटली वर्किंग टू स्टार्ट और टू नो increase transplantation in the public hospitals and make it affordable for the common people. अभी आप दिल्ली में देखो, they are doing all heart, lung, liver, kidney, everything. फर्स्ट लंग भी एम्स दिल्ली ने कर लिया है। तो in this way we are going step by step and we are trying to make all the aims at least a transplant hospital so that no common people can be able to। फिर इसी तरह से अगर आप किडनी में जाएंगे तो राष्ट्रीय आरोग्य निधि करके एक पैकेज है गवर्नमेंट का, जिसके अंदर किडनी के ट्रांसप्लांटेशन के लिए उन्हें पूरा खर्चा मिल जाता है। तो दैट इज अगेन फ्री, बट गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग, बट सी डिपेंडिंग अपॉन आवर area and population, it might be a bit slow, but government is working on the capping as well.
Okay, thank you.
Donation is a one's constraint.
Thank you for that. I would like to repeat what ma'am said. There are two types of different donations we are talking about. एक जो आप अपने जब आप अपने जीते जी अपनी फैमिली में किसी को किडनी खराब हुआ आप एक दे सकते हैं, जो जय का सवाल था, या लिवर आप दे सकते हैं जिसमें ब्लड मैच करते हैं। बहुत सारे क्लॉजेस उसमें ये होते हैं कि रिलेटिव होना चाहिए या आउट ऑफ लव लाइक दी शेयर। बट नोटो जो है वो मेनली डिसीज की बात करता है, मतलब अगर आप ब्रेन डेड की वजह से आपकी डेथ होती है तब आप अपने ऑर्गन्स को दे करके जाएं। सो आप जब जा रहे हैं दुनिया से तो अल्टीमेटली आपकी वजह से अगर आप हेल्दी ऑर्गन्स दे के जाते हैं तो आप 9 लोगों की, जैसे मैम ने कहा 9 लोगों की आप मदद कर सकते हैं, उनकी लाइफ। वहां पे नोटो का रोल आता है, आप नोटो को इन्फॉर्म करते हैं और वो आपको वहां पे ऑर्गन्स को डोनेशन के लिए लेते हैं, जहां पे वो अननोन। आई एम श्योर यहाँ पे ऑर्गन जो डोनेट कर रहे हैं किसको मिल रहा है ये भी बहुत सीक्रेट रखा जाता है। इसमें क्लियर नहीं होता है कि कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है ना इसके अंदर। वहाँ
हम अवॉइड करते हैं बताना, क्योंकि फिर वहाँ पे इमोशनल बारिंग और बाकी चीजें होने लगती है।
Sorry.
To avoid emotional things and other, so we keep it secret. लेकिन ऐसा अगर कोई बहुत ज्यादा जानना कुछ चाहता है तो we will definitely tell, but we try to keep it secret.
Okay. Vinayak, you can ask. Unmute yourself. I've given you rights, Vinayak.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is.
Camera on kar lo, Vinayak.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, my question is, how could I approach the axiology of default postmortem organ donation, also called the presumed content, or opt for the organ donation?
I didn't get you, Vinayak.
The question is, if like the person should opt for the like postmortem organ donation, or he should opt for the like normal organ donation.
A postmortem.
पोस्टमार्टम इज तो डिफरेंट थिंग. वो अगर एमएलसी केस होता है उसमें पोस्टमार्टम होता है और फिर उसमें देखा जाता है उस टाइम का रीजन. देयर आर चांसेस कि क्या कहते हैं पोस्टमार्टम को वो भी कर दिया जाए, वेव ऑफ कर दिया जाए, बट वैसे नॉर्मली आप प्लेज कर सकते हैं. दैट इज आई डोंट थिंक कि वो मतलब पोस्टमार्टम इज देयर इज एनीथिंग फॉर प्लेजिंग.
राइट. ये विनायक के क्वेश्चन से मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि लोगों को ये लगता है जो मैम ने बताया अभी मिथ कि मेरी बॉडी को इस शेप में कर देंगे, काट पीट कर देंगे बॉडी के साथ, कि फिर वो ये मैम ने बताया था ना कि वो बॉडी जो है फिर फैमिली कह देती है कि नहीं नहीं वो क्या कर रहे हैं, तो आपकी पूरी बॉडी को वो डिसफिगर कर देंगे. और जैसे उन्होंने कहा कि ऐसे मिथ है कि अगले जन्म में फिर मेरी आंखें नहीं होंगी, मेरे लंग्स नहीं होंगे. ये इस तरह के बायसेस है जो इन्होंने बताए. ऐसे बहुत सारे मिथ हैं जो ऑर्गन डोनेशन से जुड़े हुए हैं. वही उसी को ब्रेक करने की बात हो रही है. हेल्थ कम्युनिकेशन के स्टूडेंट इस बात से बिल्कुल रिलेट कर पाएंगे. हम IEC क्लास में पढ़ा रहे हैं कि क्या होता है. तो आप लोग वहां से समझिए कि इसको सिर्फ आपको प्लेज करने की बात नहीं है. आपसे ये उम्मीद की जाती है कि आप इस पे कम्युनिकेशन कैंपेन्स बनाएं और मैक्सिमम लोगों को अवेयर करें. राइट. शुभी, आई थिंक समझ आ गया होगा विनायक आपको. शुभी, यू कैन अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड स्विच ऑन योर कैमरा. शुभी, यू कैन आस्क योर क्वेश्चन.
मैम, माय क्वेश्चन इज कि अगर किसी की बॉडी सपोज मिलती है और इसका कोई ओनर, जैसे किसकी फैमिली के वो नहीं पता चलता, तो उनसे भी ले सकते हैं ऑर्गन्स अगर वो
मतलब
जिनका जैसे सपोज किसी की बॉडी मिली है बट पता नहीं वो कौन है.
नहीं ऐसे मैम आप आंसर करेंगे.
नहीं, ऐसे में फिर वो देखा जाता है कि उसकी कस्टडी किसके पास है, और फिर अगर पुलिस के पास होती है तो फिर उसके अलग प्रोसीजर्स हैं वो करने के बाद ही, क्योंकि नॉन क्लेम बॉडी में थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम होती है, तो इट्स नॉट दैट इजी.
नहीं, लेकिन मेरे ख्याल में ये बहुत ही वैलिड सवाल है कि जो अनक्लेम्ड बॉडीज हैं, जो लावारिस जैसे जो भी लाशें मिलती हैं जो पुलिस के पास फाइनली जाती हैं, तो आई बिलीव कि इस दिशा में कुछ करने की जरूरत है. तो बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल किया.
नहीं तो सर वो ब्रेन स्टेम डेथ नहीं है ना, वो तो ऑलरेडी कार्डियक डेथ है, उससे तो आप ऑर्गन्स ले भी नहीं सकते.
इसमें दो तीन चीजें हैं जितना मैंने पढ़ा है. एक तो ऑब्वियसली ये सवाल है सर कि कार्डियक डेथ है, नेचुरल कार्डियक अरेस्ट के बाद तो आप नहीं कर सकते. फर्स्ट
कार्डियक अरेस्ट की बात नहीं है. एनीबडी हु इज फाउंड डेथ एंड कोई उसका क्लेम करने वाला नहीं.
तो अगर हॉस्पिटल में है और तो उसके साथ कोई ना कोई होगा उसका अपना दूर का, या फिर अगर पर्सन पुलिस कस्टडी में है तो पुलिस के कस्टडी में रहेगा, तो फिर उनसे परमिशन लेनी पड़ती है. इट ऑल टेक अ लॉन्ग टाइम.
आप तभी डोनेट कर सकते हैं ना जब आप ब्रेन डेड है. ब्रेन डेड वाली सिचुएशन में अगर कोई लावारिस बॉडी की बात करिए यहाँ पे, तो वो तो मिलती इतने दिनों बाद है. टाइम बाउंड वाला सिस्टम भी है ना, वो इतने दिनों बाद आपको मिल रही होती है. इतने दिन तक पुलिस उसे अपनी कस्टडी में बॉडी को रखते हैं कि कोई आए क्लेम करे, फिर उसका कोई वो चीज वहां पे फायदा नहीं रहता है. कोई एक्सीडेंट हो गया है, वो ब्रेन डेड हो गया है, तो उसके लिए भी वेट किया जाता है कि कोई उसको आके क्लेम कर ले, तो वो अपने आप डिसीजन नहीं ले सकते हैं. वेट फॉर सर्टेन टाइम, और जितना डिले हो जाएगा फिर आप डोनेट नहीं कर सकते हैं. इसमें टाइम एक वो भी एक चीज.
जैसे होता है ना कि कोई किसी की ट्रेन के आगे आने से मौत हो गई एंड उसका पता नहीं चल रहा, बट इट ऑल टेक्स सो लॉन्ग कि उसके बाद वो बॉडी मतलब ऑर्गन डोनेशन नहीं हो सकता.
और किसी का कोई सवाल है तो वो हैंड रेज कर सकते हैं. और मेरी तरफ से यही सवाल थे जो स्टूडेंट्स ने भी पूछे. और थैंक यू अर्चना मैम। कोई
नहीं, एक चीज और मैं जानना चाह रहा हूँ, जैसे कि आपने ये आई मीन द काइंड ऑफ सेशन दैट वी आर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग, सो वी इनिशिएटेड और you initiated and then we had this kind of session, but otherwise what exactly is the awareness program that Notto conducts on a regular basis? What all steps you take for creating awareness on this issue?
So similarly, as we know, we approach like presently also for every year we have a calendar in place to do so many awareness activities. So we approach schools, colleges, and then different paramilitary and military forces for the same. And then we do go ahead and conduct the online and now physical sessions to create awareness. And we, as I was telling, that we celebrate one annual day, that is Indian Organ Donation Day. We celebrate different health day. We have celebrated kidney day, liver day, and all. So these are the things, but these are the days which we use to create awareness. Yeah, definitely. But for that, we need to either we should get an intimation from the organization or the institute, or we approach them also. And any creative idea.
Do you do it on a sustained?
I am an organ donor. I want to inform everyone out here. I am an organ donor.
That's so nice.
I did it long time back.
So now Dr. Amrish will be doing it, and we will take his
So I was. Yeah. I mean, the only thing is that there's lack of initiative. Will is there, so that is how it hasn't happened. So you should address this problem as well. I mean, there are people who are willing, but then they are not being approached or they are not taking initiative, and that is how it does not happen. So I believe that there's a huge responsibility on you to take initiatives to reach out to the people to create awareness. And what I was asking, that it has to be on a sustained basis. Like this session is a one-time activity, but then there are people who take time, who might be consulting in the family and the family members discussing it. So there is a lot of follow-ups required on your part, which I feel.
No, definitely, sir. My approach is that is of sustainable. If I do 1, 2, or 3, 4, the numbers can be minimum, but we do follow up. So I was about to speak to Manasvi also. Yesterday even we planned that we will have a physical session also, so that we can also understand, students can also understand, and we can together work some workshops or seminars and all that. So involvement should be with the. I think if you are ready, we can have a DME as our partner.
Yeah, we are always ready.
We can collaborate to form some campaigns. We can help you shoot some films. We can help you, give you, production content. We can prepare newsletters for you. We have a whole team, talented team, bunch of.
In fact, I was thinking since the start of this session that we can make a documentary for you.
Definitely. So I have spoken to her also that if your students are completing the course and for first 3 months, if they are not able to find job or they are giving interviews, they can work with Notto. We can definitely give them a certificate for working in the Ministry of Health. And we have a different department where a lot of vacancies are coming up because this world is of digital. So we can definitely give a reference as well. So if your students are interested and if they are good, definitely they are welcome.
Yeah, so we believe this session will be the beginning of a long standing relationship between us.
Sure, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Archana. Thank you, Dr. Amrish Saxena. Christina, back to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such an insightful session. With this, we come to the conclusion of plenary session 2. My foremost and heartfelt thanks to the session expert for sharing her valuable insights about the theme, awareness about organ donation. Sincere thanks to management of DME, Aman Sahni, Vice Chairman, Justice Bhavar Singh, Director General, Professor Dr. ICAN5, Director, for their support in every endeavors being taken by DME Media School. Heartfelt thanks to Dean Media School, Professor Dr. Amrish Saxena, Head Media School, Professor Dr. Susmita Bala, for their motivation in planning and executing the flagship event of Media School. Thanks to Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, Associate Professor and Associate Convener of ICAN5, for all over coordination for the International Media Conference. Thanks to Sumantra Sati Das and Vishal Sahai, Assistant Professor, and Yogesh Sharma, Faculty at Media School, for digital and production support for ICAN5. Thanks to Dr. Manmeet Kaur, Associate Professor and Academic Coordinator, and Pramod Kumar Pandey, Assistant Professor, for their efforts in supporting ICAN5. Thanks to Shruti VS, Assistant Professor, Media School, for managing technical and cultural team along with the student coordination. Mohammed Kamil and Sukriti Arora, Assistant Professors, for newsletter, press briefings, and media coordination support. Dr. Ritika Saxena, Assistant Professor, for designing and creative support. Saima Parvez and Dr. Sumedha for their support with social media management. I also thank Pawan Saxena, Anmol Mehta, Tulika Arora, CM Anand, Abhishek Yadav, Jagan for administrative and logistic support. Student convener Priya Yadav for her consistent support in ICAN5. All student coordinators from newsletter, production, hospitality, anchoring, cultural, and digital operation for their coordination and consistent effort for the conference. Thanks to all the researchers, participants who have sent their full research papers for this international media conference, participants for various sessions. Special thanks to our conference partner, knowledge partners, international partners, and media partners.